ComiCon in Seattle, Washington. I'm Ari. I'm Pippa. Kareen's not here because she's sad and alone in Lethbridge. It's really very tragic. So I don't know how to explain a con if you've never been to one, but basically you're really nerdy. Then you all come together in one place and nerd together.
Like most cons, Emerald City started with a bunch of dudes and a few ladies coming together to talk about all the geeky things that made them feel alive. The first Emerald City Con in 2003 drew 2,500 guests. It started out at Quest Field, not moving to its current home in the Washington State Convention and Trade Center until 2003, when numbers topped 10,000. For its 10th anniversary this year, the con brought in around 50,000 attendees. Not bad for under a decade. Because this whole episode was an excuse to talk about how great cons are, and we had no better content ideas, we decided to ask the average con goer, i.e. the people who came down in the car with us, to recommend a great kids or young adult book.
Hi, my name is Jen, and this is The Giver by Lois Lowry, and it's awesome. It was one of my favorite books when I was younger. It's about a dystopian society in which everything is organized. The main character is a little boy named Jonah, who when he hits 13 gets given a job, and he gets given the job of being the receiver, and the book is titled The Giver because the giver gives him the memories of the past, and he starts to see things differently than the rest of his culture. And it's awesome because it got me thinking that maybe I don't see the same world as everybody else, and that was key to young me figuring out that I could evaluate the world in a critical way. And I honestly think it probably impacted me being a nerd, but it also probably impacted me going into being a counselor and going into therapy. So it's awesome, read it.
You spend a lot of time at a con waiting to get into a panel featuring some actor, writer, or other celebrity you really want to see, or to get an autograph from your idol. There are lots of reasons, and lots of waiting in line, sometimes for hours. We do all sorts of things to keep ourselves entertained.
What are you doing, Pippa?
We're going to start a rumor.
Why are we starting a rumor?
It might be April Fool's Day.
And what's the rumor we're starting?
Someone just told me that they saw Joss Whedon here in the con. Okay, I also brought my video camera because in one of my classes this term, we're doing research on fan cultures. So I'm doing a mass observation of nerds in the wild, and we're gonna compare it to footage of people going to a convention. That's why I have all of this. I don't even know why we're in line right now.
Hi, my name is Elise. This is Tintin by Ashley, and it was the first comic book I read in grade 2, probably 1-2, and it's awesome because no girls were reading comic books in my class at that point, and it took me probably about a good year to work up the courage to start reading comic books, and then I just didn't care anymore. I just picked it up and kept reading through the entire series and every other comic book that the library had, and it was awesome.
Mostly though, all the waiting ends up being worth it.
So I want to do one like that where I'm sitting in an opulent library with rich mahogany shelves and leather-bound books, a roaring fireplace. I'm in a high-backed French chair. I am sipping a brandy. I am wearing an ascot. I know. Of course you're wearing an ascot. Why wouldn't I be wearing an ascot? I replied, that's what I'm saying. Any excuse to wear an ascot. Exactly.
So I just met Wil Wheaton. This is so meta, I actually don't know what to do with it.
Hi, my name is Jen, and this is Blueberries for Sale by Robert McCloskey. It's about a little girl and her mom who go blueberry picking on the side of a mountain, and at the same time a bear and her bear cub are going eating blueberries on the same mountain, and then the little girl and the bear get mixed up and follow the wrong mother, and then they have to figure out and get back to their own mothers. And this was a book that when I was little I got out of the library probably every single week when we went to the library. I read it over and over again. And it's a really cute story, and I remember it even now, and now I read it to the little girl that I babysit, and she really likes it too. So, cute book, and you should read it.
The cons aren't just about panels and autographs and waiting in line. Sometimes it's family activity. Sometimes people make amazing costumes. And sometimes people do stuff that's just awesome.
This is possibly the coolest thing I've ever seen made out of Lego. Uh-oh, Carter, it looks like a bunch of nerds. Run! This is Arrows of the Queen by Mercedes Lackey, which you've probably heard of, but if you haven't read this and you were ever a 13-year-old girl, I highly recommend it. It's about Talia, who leaves her incredibly oppressive religious family to become a herald, which is basically a superhero on a horse with powers. It's a great book, and if you're a really little girl who really likes adventures and wants to be powerful and think that you can do anything, including being more or less in charge of a kingdom, I totally think you should read this. When I was 13, I read it over and over again, and I still do, pretty much once a year, so.
It is making pancakes so far. Best at the con.
Okay, cutest thing that happened today. We're standing buying some Hunger Games posters, and I have the Captain America shield attached to my bag that's behind my shoulder. And this little tiny kid, maybe 5 or 6, dressed in a Captain America outfit, is staring at it, and he's staring at it, and we turn around, and he points at my shield, and he says, "I really like your shield." And I said, "Well, I really like your shield." He was like, "It's real, you know." So Ari says, "You can tell." Female Canadian Captain America is like mentoring baby Captain America.
That makes perfect sense.
The really funny thing is how much we all enjoy playing with the Captain America shield versus how really, really Canadian we all are.
Hi, my name is Alison. This is The Woke World by Wil Wheaton, and it is an awesome book because it is about how the environment is great and animals don't like it when you mess it up. So, yeah, the author was a Disney animator for a long time, and he owned a capybara, and that's pretty cool.
25 years ago, I helped another Star Trek The Next Generation actor, who will be pseudonymized as Patrick Stewart, set up his first Macintosh 2 computer. It was an incredible technological marvel. It blew me away with its 256 colors and its 4 megabytes of RAM. And its 30 kilobyte hard drive. Megabytes, sorry, I messed that up. Sorry, nerds. It was an incredible technological marvel. It blew me away, and it had barely a fraction of the computing power or memory of my 4.5 ounce smartphone that I take for granted and regularly complain about being a piece of shit. I love living in the future.
I'm Pippa, and the book that I wanted to say something about is Feed by M.T. Anderson. I didn't read it when I was younger, but I just finished it last year. Basically, it's set in the future, and all of our social media and instant messaging and email and everything is in a feed that gets implanted in our brains when you're younger, and you have constant access to the internet and what your friends are doing all over the place, and there's problems with the technology. And it's interesting. You should read it. This was like the worst. I can't talk. Don't make me do this.
We hope you really enjoyed this special edition video podcast of the Bookslingers podcast. Again, I am Ari.
I'm Pippa.
You'll see us next at Vancouver Fan Expo, which we really hope will be great.
Yes, and you need to come to Vancouver Fan Expo.
Spend your money.
So that they do it next year, and that it gets exponentially more awesome each time.
So you'll hear from me next week, probably maybe the week after that, back in regular audio podcast. Have a great week. Bye.